a quick way to do this on the first appointment is if Vicki were the person I were taking through, I would generally have her stand here, but because there are people, I'm just gonna have her stand here, but pretend. So I will just do the little script thing and explain what I would say. And then we'll go into things to look for. Okay, so Vicki, this is the postural growth trigger, and what it's doing is it's building bone density in the spine. It's also helping to strengthen your spinal erectors and your trapezius muscles. So over time, people will notice postural shifts. So if you have to think about your posture a lot, or this is a concern for you, what you'll notice over time is that your shoulders are pushed back. We've actually had people who have gained height from doing this. Okay, so I'm just going to enter your number into Spectrum here, and it'll come all the way up to 8. And as I am setting the position, I'm explaining this. So what you're going to do is you're going to have your feet hip width apart. You want to pinch your shoulders back, drop straight down to grasp the bar. You can grasp the bar like this, or underneath. And it's a whole body pulling movement, so you're going to lift with your whole body. So you don't just want to lift with your arms, so whole body. Okay, so a few things about this machine, kind of off the record that you would not say, is that there is play between positions. So if currently it's in 3. So if you go up to 4, that's what it looks like. Now notice when I go back down to 3, different position, right? So the good thing is that this can, if you go down and up a few times, you can really get it to a good position for somebody. Like for me, this is a little bit more comfortable for me, right? Where it was initially. So it's not something that you draw attention to with the member, but you would just do it discreetly, right? Okay, so Vicki, if you would step up here, all right? And so if you would just demonstrate to me what I showed you, so pinch those shoulders back, and could you step forward just a little bit? Let's check that your heel looks okay, and just drop straight down to grasp the bar. Perfect. Okay, great. And look at the screen. Good. Perfect. And could you just give me a little test pull? Fantastic. Good. Now, could you just take one little step forward? Because I noticed you were leaning forward just the tiniest little bit. So pinch those shoulders back. And stand up nice and tall for me first. Stand up, straighten your knees. Stand up, pinch the shoulders back. And then just drop straight down to grasp the bar. Perfect. And now do another test. Excellent. Good. So, does that feel a bit better? Okay. So, very subtle. Did anybody notice that she was leaning slightly forward on that first thing? Okay, great. Okay, so pinch the shoulders back. Excellent. And when you're ready, nice big breath in. Remember, you're going to be watching this number, and when that number stops, that's generally an indication that you've reached your maximum. But take it easy because it is the spine, okay? Okay, so when you're ready. Excellent. Breathing, staying nice and comfortable. Breathing. Fantastic. You can ease off. So that was great. Good. So you did, your pelvis did come back a little bit, but it wasn't significant enough to stop you. So that was really fantastic. So if you want to hit that check mark, and done. Okay, so really great. So now let's go over common errors. So we'll go back into the test account. Okay, so here the bar is too high, right? Okay, so you can come all the way around and kind of do a little 360. Now there are instances. Oh, sorry, I'm talking to the rest of the folks. There are instances where it might be appropriate to set the bar this high for somebody. That would be if they have severe knee issues. And what you can do, suppose that they really can't bend their knees very much. What you can do is you can ask them to pinch their shoulders back and then bend your knees and grab around the bar like that. So look at her knee angle, okay? Now look at the difference between that and can you ease off for 1 second, Vicki? If she grabs like that, she can't have any bend whatsoever. So you have a little bit of play in terms of how you adjust the grip. Okay, awesome. So the most common things when somebody is going to get into this position is when they're bending down, that their hips are going to tilt forward. So would you demonstrate that, tilting the hips forward? Very common, okay? All right, now, if when you have demonstrated it, you say pinch your shoulders back, have really good posture as you bend your knees. You can say that, or you can say pinch your shoulders back and pretend like you're sliding down a wall. That will generally minimize this, but the pelvis moving forward, incredibly common. And if people are wearing baggy clothes, it's hard to tell. So the fix for that is, so I'm just gonna actually lower this a little bit so we're into more realistic positioning. So could you do the error, Vicki? Yeah, good. Okay, Vicki, thanks. Did you notice that when you bent your knees, your pelvis came forward? Okay, great. So could you take one little step forward and just pinch those shoulders back and just pretend like you're sliding down a wall. Good, that's perfect. Does that feel a bit different? Okay, great. Okay, so another thing that's common is if I set the bar too low, that's too low, and I'm going to give you another example of what might be too low for her. That is also going to be too low for her, but I'm going to pretend that I don't know that until I ask her to bend down. So can you bend down and grab the bar? Okay, now, good. Now can you give me a little test pull? Okay, excellent. Now do you see how much her knee is bent? And then, do you also see, yeah, this is going to be more common, okay? So that somebody might want to shift forward onto the balls of their feet. Another thing is if most people spend hours at a computer and their shoulders are naturally more forward. So, yeah, okay, good. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get her into the best position I can. So can you just stand up like go with the bars and just stand up as straight as you can? Good, okay. And so in this particular case, I might want to raise the bar a little bit and just see what I can get her to, okay? Because I don't want her to load this way if there's a higher risk of injury. So I'm gonna say, okay, could you take a little step forward for me? Good, and just bring your shoulders back as much as you can and just try to straighten it. Yeah, so I might have her just go like that. Again, I'm making the adjustment of what's gonna be comfortable and safe for her. Especially on this one, safety and form first. Okay, great. So, thank you. That was awesome, Vicki. I'm just gonna demo a few more other things here. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to ask different people to come up here, put a hand on my shoulder and my back. I'm going to make errors, and I want you to see if you can catch what they are. Okay? All right, so Michelle.
Okay.
Okay, so you want to put your hand on my shoulder and my back.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, hang on, you just pulled from your arms.
Okay, did everybody see that? Okay, all right, I'm going to raise this up a little bit. Okay, and
okay, you pull, you're not, stop. You're rolling forward.
Right.
Your toes.
yeah, but what else is happening?
Well, your knees are going forward
Yeah, and why?
because your pelvis.
Too far forward.
Huh? What?
Are your hands too far forward?
Good catch. Yep. Okay, so it's very common for people to do a really great test pull on this and then do the real one wrong. And actually that's common with all of them. you know, that their form will look good, and then they'll switch. Okay, so another thing is that oftentimes people, when they stand here, their feet will be too close together, so just asking them to separate their feet. Sometimes people have a natural turnout. That doesn't really matter so much if it's parallel. You know, you have to work with people's existing biomechanics. Oh, I'm going to do a tricky one for you. Okay, come ahead. Okay.
You're bringing you're on your toes. You're leaning backwards.
Nope. You really moving? Okay, this is slight. I was kind of grabbing right here, so I didn't have a full grip. So this is going to be very weak, and they're not going to be able to get a good grip. So it's very common for older women, when they don't have a good grip strength, that they might want to grab. You might see them grab like this, and they actually don't have a good grip, right? Yeah. So you want to have it right around the top of the palm here. Yeah. Okay. Alicia, am I missing anything?
You did the toes, you did the hands, you did... No?
Yeah, so really, it really is this one that's the most common. And then sometimes you'll also see when somebody's doing it, that the hips will slightly move, and that can happen. So you could just bring their attention to that when they're done. Hey, did you notice that your hips were moving a little bit? Yeah.
Is it a way of determining if they're lifting more with one hand than the other? Maybe one side.
The shoulder would.
Not usual.
Common.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So
the
the
more dominant arm.
sorry, huh?
So if they were lifted, if they were right-handed, for instance, and they were kind of lifting more with the dominant hand or arm.
So people who have scoliosis, you know, sometimes if you get around to the back, you'll see that they're just a little bit more, you know, more tilted to one side, but there's not a whole lot you can do with that. There is one other thing. Whoever wants to, I'll try one other thing that you can see happen. If anybody wants to jump up and try to be fool.
Don't all jump at once.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Hips are going forward, way forward.
Very common. Very common. So in that case, because people might not conceptually get this, because it's not a very customary movement for people, you know, but very common. If you see them straightening their legs, you might think, oh, I need to lower the bar. No, you need to. You might need to demonstrate to them again. Oh, be sure to keep everything in a line. But this is common. Common.
Good.
Okay. Any questions?